I'm Laura, and welcome back to the Tarot Genie, where you receive intuitive answers from the tarot to your burning questions about business, career, creativity, entrepreneurship, politics, and more. For this week's inspirational, motivational video and reading, I'm going to ask the question, how can we build our overall immunity to this COVID-19 virus? How can we build our overall immunity? And what do we need to consider vis-a-vis this situation right now? And the significator cards, I've chosen again 2 significator cards for this week and for this reading, are the following. The 3 of Swords I selected as how we're feeling right now, many of us. We're feeling grief, we're feeling loss. There are people who've actually lost loved ones. Just the other day, my daughter received a text message. Now, this is 3 degrees of separation. It's not her direct friend, but her friend told her about one of her friends whose best man came down with the coronavirus. In LA, he was treated in one of the top LA hospitals by top physicians and nurses. He's 34 years old, treated over a week, had all kinds of, the best care possible, and he just died. Healthy 34-year-old with no known underlying conditions or complications, and so this is reality. Also, I heard just yesterday morning, I was listening to podcaster Brian Williamson on MSNBC. He's also on television. That's the main thing. He's on television, MSNBC, and one of his sound guys, worked a long time with him, just died of the coronavirus. Now, he was 61 years old, but definitely people are feeling sorrow and grief and losing loved ones. So that's the situation at hand. So how do we get into a state of spiritual immunity, of at least staying calm as we can in the midst of all this trouble, of all this very real situation of crisis? And I came across video and also a book by Marianne Williamson. She's written numerous books based on the teachings of A Course in Miracle. And of course, if you may or may not know, she ran for president earlier in the campaign, in the Democratic National Campaign. But she has a book called Tears to Triumph, Spiritual Healing for the Modern Plagues. Interesting, she used that term, modern plagues. This came out a few years ago, of anxiety and depression. But now we actually have a real, quote-unquote, type of plague with this virus. And I was struck by a particular quotation in the book. I have not read the book, but I just scanned through it on Amazon. She says, "The pain you are going through is not what will determine your future. Your future will be determined by who you are as you go through your pain." So that, I will have information about this book, Tears to Triumph. And so I thought that was just an important message, how to best be our best during this crisis, which we cannot deny is a crisis. So that will be today's question. So how to best handle this in terms of our mindset, any actions we need to take physically, and what we can expect in the near future. Lay out the 3 cards. Okay, mindset. The Strength card. Now, this is a Major Arcana card, one of my favorite cards. Pops up a lot in readings I've been doing the past quarter or half year. And what this is suggesting, the mindset is that we need to embrace is one of strength. We've got to face the situation at hand, acknowledge it. We can't sweep it under the carpet, as the Oval Office occupants seem to have done in the beginning, saying, oh, this is nothing, it's a minor thing. We need to stay strong. We need to tap into all the strength that we have and realize, this challenge represented by the lion here is fear. It can create a lot of fear, but we've got to stay calm. We've got to trust. We've got to kind of turn into our reserves of strength, all that we have. And that should be our mindset. It should be our mindset that we need to focus on our foundation of strength, that we have to muster as much strength, physical, mental, emotional, that we can. That's what I would say this is suggesting. Physical actions. Well, this seems to me, well, interesting. The World card, another major arcana. Interesting that we've got two major arcana cards for this important question. And normally the World card, or often the World card, represents arriving in a situation. But just what jumped right out at me in looking at this card and reflecting upon the actions that we need to take is notice how she's enveloped in this laurel, in this. Well, this is suggesting we need to, we could say, quarantine ourselves. We need to stay at home, stay in our own places at the moment, and not go out into the world, even though we want to be able to dance and sing and be the way our life has normally been, but it can't be at this point. We have to contain ourselves. We need to contain our activities. At home, we can have our own activities, our own celebrations, but we've got to do it, it seems to me, at home. That's what's popping up right now. While at the same time, tapping into the strength, the Leo strength, the lion, the ram, taking solace in strength. But it just seems to me this is saying setting up a structure that for the moment our actions have to be self-contained and not to go out into the world. We have to realize that this is a global situation and we've got to stay self-contained and within our own homes for the moment. And then finally, what can we expect? Oh wow, the Star card, another major arcana card. Now what this is suggesting to me, and what can we expect as a result of this, is that the Star card, when upright, is often associated with a card of hope and of faith, of calm, where this woman who is nude, suggesting she's very vulnerable, is watering both the pond, the little pond, and the ground, and giving into this flow. I think what this is suggesting, since it's reversed, is that in the short term, that we need to just turn within and tune into our intuition, tune in and get illumination from within. That's going to be our source of greatest strength, is our own inner reserves, our own inner insights. In this card, often the Star is suggesting, it's the nighttime and there are these little bursts of illumination. But given that it's reversed, I feel that it's suggesting that we need to take the time and turn within and tune within to get our greatest insights and to get our greatest reserves of strength, as represented by the Strength card. Now let me just see if there are any other insights I can gain here from these three cards. I will just say they're all major arcana cards, suggesting the question is important. And again, when I look at this World card, it is suggesting to me that we can't lose our joy, but for the moment, since this is the action card, we need to stay at home and do whatever we need to on our own, not mingle as much. But our mindset, again, is tapping into the inner, to those, all the areas of strength that we can muster to deal with this challenge. And that ultimately our hope and our abilities, capabilities are all going to come from within ourselves, not externally. So we need to tune into that at all times. I hope this reading has been helpful for you. If you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And I do private readings. You can get information about that at thetarotgenie.com. And just remember, until next time, illumine your mind, inspire your life with the tarot.